4 men accused of murdering Foolio facing the death penalty will be going to trial later this week. 3 of the men are shooters: Sean Gathright, Davion Murphy, and Rashad Murphy, and then Isaiah Chance was just the lookout guy tracking Foolio around the whole night, texting them his location. I'm going to be showing you the key pieces of evidence the prosecution have against them. It's very damning. I don't even know how they're supposed to defend any of this. It's like almost funny they're taking this to trial. They're so cooked. Hit subscribe, let's go. So the footage is where things get very hairy for these guys. They're on camera everywhere. I mean, literally everywhere. At the start, in Jacksonville, on camera at Sean Gathright's mother's house. This is the footage of her Ring camera or whatever. They're packing large bags into the car. Sean and Isaiah Chance are. The day before the murder, here's Isaiah Chance coming over to the house. They were close friends, so he just walks right in. He grabs a bag from the car up top. A big bag. I mean, he can barely lift that thing. What's in there? He's coming with another bag now. And here's the first shot of Sean Gathright, one of the AR shooters. He comes out, he's looking at the car. This Impala is what they end up using, and it's registered to his mom. You use a car registered to your mama in a murder. So dumb. So now he's clearing out the back trunk, like making space, I believe, for the bags of guns. He's getting random shit out of the trunk. He's on the phone with people now, probably one of the Murphys or something, because they're coming along too. Now here come the very big bags that we would presume have guns in them. I mean, look how many book bags these guys have. There's like 4 book bags, plus a huge, large duffel bag. Look at that big ass bag. What is in there when you're going to Jacksonville for less than 24 hours? Keep that in mind. They go there, I think, for like 17 hours. You ain't packing that much shit. And they try to say it was a music video. Come on, bro. There's no evidence of them shooting a music video there. 0. Because remember, Sean Gathright is a videographer. Like, he shot music videos. Isaiah Chance is also a rapper. Look at how many book bags they have right here. 4. Would you look at that? More bags. I mean, these guys were transporting an arsenal from fucking Jacksonville down to Tampa. I've seen some comments of people asking how they got this footage. I can't remember if this was through a search warrant or his mom gave it to them. I know his grandma gave them the footage after the murder. You'll see that later on. Now here's the first shot of Alicia getting from this car into the Impala to go down to Tampa with them. And they're getting ready to leave. And now we're back after the murder here where they're back at the house. And I believe this is Rashad Murphy right here popping up out of nowhere because he came back with them. And here's Isaiah Chance picking up all these bags and taking them inside. Now here is the license plate readers. The detectives obviously figured out the cars at some point that were involved in this murder. They had the license plates on. So obviously they searched the system where these license plates were read.
That would be a picture of the entire vehicle of the plate that the camera's focused on. This one is 4:25 p.m. on June 23rd, 2024, out of Polk County.
And is this time frame, is this after the homicide occurred?
Correct. This is approximately 12 hours after the homicide.
And where does Mr. Gathright, Sean Gathright's grandmother live?
In Auburndale in Polk County.
Sean Gathright is driving this Impala now to his grandma's house in another city in Florida, where he switches cars, wipes down the car, all on camera too. This silver car is how the Murphys got to Tampa. And then Alicia and Isaiah Chance used this car to track Foolio around the entire night.
What are those address reference points on this diagram?
So what we did was we put in the date and time and the location of the LPR hits that we just went through, and then this kind of mapped it out visually for us so we can see the path of travel from Jacksonville.
Jacksonville down to Tampa, Tampa back to Jacksonville. Now the night of the murder, at 4 in the morning, the silver car is seen circling the hotel that Foolio is at, trying to check into a room. So Alicia and Isaiah are in this car, and they just drove past Foolio out front, and they're like, there's Foolio's car out front, and they're letting the people in the other car know what's going on.
Camera's on the southwest corner of the Homestead Suites, and it's pointing in the southwest direction. So this would have been the continuation of when I said left off the screen in that last slide, is where we're at here. We saw the crews come in, and now we're seeing the crews come out.
Now they're turning around, and they're going to leave the area because the shooting's about to happen, because they're going to let them know Foolio's out front, and these boys are about to run around this corner and shoot him right here.
Now we see the shooters arriving in.
Rashad's about to pop out the bottom right here. That's Rashad with the Glock. And here's Sean Gathright with the AR and the shell casing catcher on the side of it, so no casings were left.
Time?
On the timestamp 37:14, correct time would have been 4:38.
Davion pops up at the top here.
On the timestamp 37:14, correct time would have been 4:38, almost 4:39.
Look at Davion, bro. Sneaking around this Tesla camera like an idiot right before they start shooting. And Foolio actually tried to climb in the back seat and like avoid it and got shot. And there's a picture out there. I saw a picture on Twitter of him literally like face first in the back seat. I don't know how I just now saw this, but it's out there. And if I remember correctly, he had no chance. Like his back got destroyed and his vertebrae got hit, I think. Like he was dead pretty quickly. Here's Rashad running with the Glock. And there was Sean running with the AR. Here's Davion spraying. And here's Davion running like he is the most unathletic person possible. Now, the Airbnb, Alicia's on camera getting in at first, and they snuck around the back when they got there. But she's on camera there, going in the day they get there. And then look, there's Isaiah on camera. This is after the murder, actually. He has champagne, because remember, they drink champagne celebrating. And this is them leaving, and guess what? An Uber. And this Uber driver testified and said, yup, they got in my car. He testified they all got in his car. The people that took the Uber. I don't remember who took the Uber, but one of the Murphys took the Uber. And that's how they figured out he was there.
The person getting in that silver car is an Uber driver who they have called. That is how they returned to Jacksonville. The defendant, Mr. Chance, and Mr. Murphy this time returned to Jacksonville.
Remember that doctor's appointment you're supposed to go to, but you completely forgot about it and got sidetracked? Why not book it today? ZocDoc makes it easier to find the right doctor and book it right now. ZocDoc is a 100% free app and website you can search and compare high-quality in-network doctors and click and instantly book your appointment. I'm talking about in-network appointments with over 100,000 doctors across any specialty, from mental health to dental health, from primary care to urgent care, and more. You can filter for doctors who take your insurance and are located nearby, are a good fit for any medical need you may have, and are highly rated by verified patients. And once you find the right doctor, it's so seamless. You can scroll through their time slots, see what appointments are available on which day and what time, and click the one that fits into your busy schedule. I've told you guys this forever. I had a tooth pain last year. It was my wisdom teeth coming in, which I thought I didn't have wisdom teeth, but they just popped up. Through ZocDoc, I got my consultation and surgery within 48 hours. All of it was done. It was so seamless. And you can even score same-day appointments. I've done that before too. Stop putting off those doctor's appointments and go to ZocDoc.com/CUFBOYS to find and instantly book your top-rated doctor today. That's ZocDoc.com/CUFBOYS, ZocDoc.com/CUFBOYS. Thank you guys. Back to the video.
Now they're unloading, bringing out all of their kit and their gear, their weapons. There's Mr. Davion
Davion right there.
Murphy. Now they're getting sloppy because it's the next day. And all of the conspirators are visible. There's Mr. Murphy going.
Oh, there was Davion on the ring camera. Never mind. I thought Davion never went on the ring camera up front. He did. What an idiot. And there's Sean.
Trying to go back in. Mr. Gathright walking out with gear. They don't come the way they don't leave the way they came. They flee from this murder separately and in a different format. That's Mr. Gathright. He leaves independent of the others in the Impala. Mr. Gathright drives across I-4 to Polk County, to Auburndale, to his grandmother's house, where he switches cars. He leaves his Impala at his grandmother's house, and he takes her Toyota 4Runner, and he drives that to Orlando, where he goes out that night to a club, and he posts a photograph of him drinking Don Julio tequila, which is a diss to Charles Jones. Charles Jones, Julio Foolio, was known in all of his social media to drink Don Julio. That's where the name came from.
So bro thought switching cars at his grandma's house was enough when you're on camera in a car registered to your mom murdering someone, and then celebrates at a club.
This Mr. Gathright drives over, switches cars, goes to Orlando, then he ends up in Jacksonville. That's Mr. Gathright being picked up on a flock license plate reader system.
By the way, these flock cameras, I heard about them recently, they're everywhere. We're being surveilled at all times. It's actually a little bit concerning. I don't like it at all. Like, the government knows where you're at all times because of your car.
Oh, this is him coming. This is on June 22nd. You can see 739. He's in Hillsborough County.
Now, here's Sean arriving to his grandma's house in the Impala, and his grandma gave the police all this footage, by the way. I think this is where she was like, yeah, and gave it to them. And she even said this was bizarre, that he would come there and switch cars. She was confused by it. It's so bad. Like, these guys are so cooked.
You see the Chevy Impala, the assault car, sitting in the driveway. Law enforcement go there later. They get this video of Mr. Gathright switching cars. You're going to see him wiping down the Impala before he leaves.
Bro thinks wiping down fingerprints is enough. It's registered to your mama. Look at him wiping this car down on camera. This isn't cleaning. I hope to God one of his lawyers says this is him cleaning the car. That'd be such a funny defense. Because why would you be cleaning the car and switching it and then leaving it and driving hours away to another city? Like, it just makes no sense. And there's the 4Runner he switches into and gets arrested in.
And there he is leaving in the 4Runner, saying goodbye to his grandmother.
The Uber receipt, $187, all the way from Tampa to Jacksonville.
The defendant and her boyfriend, Mr. Chance, And Mr. Rashad Murphy, who had come there in the Chevy Cruze with his cousin, Davion Murphy, now Rashad Murphy traveled with them in that Uber. There's the Uber receipt, $187, 3 hours, 25 minutes, 208 miles from Gazebo Pond to Chipperfield Lane in Jacksonville. You see the route on the left, they go up 75 and they cut through I-10, heading up to Jacksonville. The Uber driver in this case will testify to you that he picked up 3 people at an Airbnb in Tampa and dropped them off at Sean Gaithwright's house in Jacksonville. That this defendant and Mr. Chance sat in the back seat, and the whole way they're on their phones, and they're not wearing a mask.
Now, a few days later, they're tracking Sean Gaithwright. They know a general area where he's at, and they find him, and he's speeding, and he has tinted windows. There's a whole other thing about that where the officers testified that they visually saw him speeding, which I don't like. What do you mean visual? I don't care if there's training for visual speeding. That's kind of weird. And then they got him out of the car for smelling marijuana, which that law has changed now.
This is in Jacksonville. This is Jacksonville Sheriff's Office. They pull that 4Runner over, Sean Gaithwright driving, and they pull him over for a traffic infraction. They get him out of the car, and they end up searching that 4Runner. And inside of the 4Runner, they find several items: Glock magazines, a Glock extended magazine, components for AR-15 rifles.
I mean, bro has an arsenal in his grandmama's car.
And a box full of empty .223 and 5.56 shell casings. Now, you're going to hear in the evidence, if you're not already aware of this, that a 5.56 rifle, an AR rifle, can shoot .223 ammunition. They're almost interchangeable. And there's multiple empty casings in this box. They also find these 2 boxes, each containing 50 rounds of 9mm ammunition. Max Tech. On the top of the cartridge casings, on the head stamp, where the primer is MXT for Max Tech. That is the exact same ammunition as the 9mm shell casings found in the crime scene. All of those shell casings found, and there was 31 of them found outside of the home to suites. They're all Max Tech, all the same ammunition, the same as these.
So the 9mm you're talking about is Rashad's Glock switch. They also find 2 more of the 9mm cartridges at Sean's house in the safe that matched the shooting. He kept casings of a murder. And guess what? He kept casings of another murder and an attempted murder in Foolio. Like, this guy kept evidence of other crimes.
These shell casings, 223 5.56, those shell casings are later provided to the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, which is a statewide agency here in the state of Florida that maintains crime laboratories throughout the state. We have one right here, a regional laboratory here in Tampa, and there's one in Jacksonville, and they're both involved in this case. And they are submitted to the firearms section, to firearms analysts, who analyze those shell casings, comparing them to the shell casings from the October 7th attack on Charles Jones, where he was shot in the leg. And they are fired from the same weapon.
So the attempted murder in Foolio, shot in the foot, right here.
The analyst will tell you they were fired from the same weapon. She will tell you that was shell casings. She examines them microscopically and compares them and looks at markings that are left on the shell casings, markings that are left by the breech face of the gun.
So it's not the exact shell casings, obviously, but this person can tell they're shot from the same gun because each gun leaves like a different type of mark.
By the extractor ejectors inside the firearms, and by primer shear, as it's called, when the primer goes off. And by primer, talking about this little dot here in the middle of the gun where the firing pin hits, causing a very teeny explosion that house. And what they determined from their search is that Sean Gaithwright, was the weapons man on this team. He is the man that provided the AR-15 5.56 caliber rifle and the AR-15 300 blackout rifle in this attack. There are ammo boxes full of 300 blackout, and 5.56 ammunition. In this safe, they find multiple weapons to include and brass catchers. That is a brass catcher. It has a wire structure with netting or mesh, and it's designed to be fitted onto a rifle where when the shell is ejecting, like I said earlier, the casings remain in that mesh. And in this mesh, this detached brass catcher, they found two 9mm shell casings that somehow worked their way in there. Those shell casings are Max Tech ammunition, the same kind of ammunition that's found in this defendant's, Mr. Gathwright's Forerunner. Those shell casings are submitted to the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, to the Firearms section for analysis, and they're analyzed, and they're compared to a shell casing from our crime scene, and the firearms examiner will tell you they were fired from the same weapon, a Glock.
What is the defense to this? There's no defense. I don't even know what the defense lawyer is going to do. Like, I'm just confused. How is this going to trial?
That weapon was not recovered in this case. It was never found.
Okay, so the Glock was never found. Okay. I got to remember these little details for when the trial.
They find this rifle, 300 Blackout, with the brass catcher attached. There are multiple magazines located and loaded magazines. Those are loaded with 300 Blackout 30 caliber rounds. Ammo boxes. This is back at the sheriff's office in Jacksonville, where this ammunition was inventoried after collection from Mr. Gathwright's house.
Now here's where Rashad Murphy really screwed up. He's the Glock shooter right here, top right. Look at the way his jeans look. And then in this footage in Walmart with his face showing the day before he buys a burner phone in the same outfit, boys. The same shoes. Look at the shoes side by side. You commit a murder in an outfit and you go in a Walmart the day before in the same outfit. I mean, the jokes write themselves.
That's a photograph of Mr. Rashad Murphy in a Walmart on June 21st that you will see in the evidence in Jacksonville, where he bought a burner phone and he's wearing the same clothes or clothes that are consistent in appearance to the Glock shooter, the person with the Glock switch shooter. You can see he's carrying it. You can see the similarities in the belt.
Oh, he's left-handed. And in this footage, the shooter is shooting with his left hand. And in interrogation, he tried to sign something with his right hand to like throw them off, and he couldn't. He was struggling to sign something with his right hand because he was pretending that he was right-handed. It's incredible.
And you can see he's carrying it in his left hand, which is confirmed through investigation. He is left-handed.
What's the defense here? Not to mention, I don't know if all their phones are tracked, but majority of their phones are tracked this whole time as well. The phone tracking is a little boring, but they're there from Jacksonville down to Tampa, back to Jacksonville. So that's the gist of this trial, and it's going to start this week, and apparently it's supposed to last at least 2 weeks. It's going to be very interesting. Hit subscribe. Thanks for the support. Peace out, guys.